called Shootball. This is the middle of the week. It's almost the middle of the week. It's almost Wednesday. This is episode number 32. I won't tell you what the name of the episode is because I'm still figuring it out. With me in the meantime are two esteemed guests, some of the smartest minds in football today. Let's start with the smarter of the two. Karthik Iyer, how are you doing?
I would suggest. I thought about it, but I couldn't come up with the right one because I was thinking of either fall or down, some niche or something like that. And then my Hindi is not very good. So I tried to Google niche. Then I knew that nichod is a word. So I Googled that. And yeah, and I didn't know what it means, right? And then it doesn't mean what it's supposed to mean. And I would suggest you don't Google it because after link 2 or 3, some nasty links open up. So do not Google that one particular word. Okay. Then I thought, why don't we go with taxi number 911? It has no meaning, but I just remember the song Meter Down, and Fulham's meter is down.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Oh, so this is for Fulham, this episode. Okay. So the entire whatever you were talking right now was about Fulham. Okay. So, and okay, let me switch that around. Let's go to the smarter of the two. Gaurav Sapre, how are you doing?
Well, you have to change that now that after Karthik has given a monologue, I am the smartest, right? And he went.
That's what I said. You're the smarter of the two. I switched it.
Of the two, yes, okay. I am definitely. I mean, yes. I'm not going to talk about Fulham. There's nothing to talk. There is so much more to talk, including a match that's going to go live now, right? So let's do live commentary, etc. Let's do something weird.
Okay, let's do something. Is a great way to start a podcast.
So it's going to go live now, but it's not going to premiere live now. There's a slight distinction in that. So I would suggest that if you're listening to this, put on the Manchester United versus Leicester game in half an hour. Then this podcast will make sense to you. Whenever you're listening to this, right?
Yeah.
That's the way it should
finally
work.
We found a way for people to make sense of this podcast. Very nice.
Yeah, I think it can only get worse from here. I think we've hit peak inception of Leicester United. A lot of things happened over the
what
weekend.
You mean, Shivram, is it's going to get 10-8 from here onwards.
Very nice. Very nice. Very well done.
I tried watching that movie again, man. I mean, I was like, what is happening? What is going on?
You have to watch that movie again.
Why do you watch it twice?
And again.
Because Supriya hadn't seen it. And then again. I thought, let's watch it together. She's smarter. Maybe she'll help me understand. I think she slept off.
Did you watch it in reverse? Does it work then?
No, that only works with
Maybe
momentum.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
Sapre,
yes.
You were lucky enough to be over 45 and get a shot. How does it feel? And before we cut into the break, tell us, you're one of the lucky few to have received the nectar of the gods.
Yeah, when I went there, I wasn't the only lucky person or the luckiest. There was a massive crowd today at one of the hospitals in South Bombay. But it's a good experience. I didn't feel anything. So I'm now wondering whether they did give me a jab or not. Because I was told it thoda prick hoga or, Prilox lagao and all of that. And I didn't feel anything. So now I have to call them and tell them if the certificate is fake.
Wasn't there a line for people, like a different line for people who have like midlife crisis and have grown their hair long? I'm sure there existed one.
That's called the OPD.
Okay, on that note, let's take a quick break while Sapre's hair continues to grow, and we'll be right back after these messages from Amit. And we're back because we were live all this while. So if you're listening to us on as in the podcast version of this, you can just tune in, see us live, or see us record things live and watch it tomorrow and play Leicester in half an hour. Don't forget. Okay, let's come back to the football. Enough of tech. I'm losing some of you already. Name one highlight that you remember, because I don't. Arsenal has never played ever, so I will not talk about that at all. But any games that you enjoyed over the weekend?
Milan beating the shit out of Juventus. That is the game.
So let's let's start with like actual football that matters. So any games in the EPL that you guys want to talk about?
Oh, I know, not really.
Wow, no one wants to talk about any games in the EPL. Much happened in the EPL.
City, Chelsea, we all thought would be. We thought it would be great, but we knew it would be boring. Right? So
why? It's like a dry run of the final, the Champions League final.
Yeah, which is also going to be it's called a dry run because this is the outcome when two teams like these play.
Okay,
It's
that
not
didn't make
gonna be
sense.
any
Karthik,
different in
let's switch to you while we have some listeners still left. Uh, tell us, what do you think about City playing Chelsea? Because Sapre seems very disappointed, even though he accurately predicted. And like you gave him so much credit last time, there will be an all English final. It is now. And suddenly it seems like he's not interested at all.
Yeah, I guess because again, when we call it a dry run, it's a little bit of a stretch, right? It's still 3 weeks away. You usually do your dry runs. Me being a theater person, I'll tell you, you usually do your you
We
do
did
your dry
not.
runs
Yeah.
a day or two before. That's about it. You don't do it 3 weeks before.
It's called
But
dress rehearsal, Ray.
a
You
dress
go out in
rehearsal,
jersey
a dress rehearsal is even closer to the show. It's like because we're so unprepared. It's
just
like in
before.
the afternoon. Yeah, you just do it. Crowd will be walking, and you go
So
back.
like
and
the
just stand.
exams.
Yeah.
WIP.
Yeah, pretty much. But I like the game. I enjoyed it, and I think that there was a lot of talk that neither Tuchel nor Guardiola will reveal anything, to each
That
other,
is never a
to
bad
the
thing.
opposing. Yeah, but I'm not so sure. These guys are extremely smart managers. They are going to try and catch any minute detail that they can. Everything that they do, especially these two, is so meticulously planned out. Like even this game, particularly from Chelsea's point of view, was important. They had to win it to put that gap and now pretty much confirm themselves as Champions League next season, irrespective of whether they win the tournament or not. So I don't buy the argument that this game, okay, it was a dress rehearsal, a dry run, that teams don't want to show each other their true colors. They've played each other twice now over the past few weeks. One was in the FA Cup semis, was it? Yeah, in the FA Cup semis, and the other one is today. I think both managers, being the type of managers that they are, have drawn a lot about this game. And I think if there's one thing we can learn from it all is whatever small 5-10% chance Sergio Aguero had of starting that Champions League final, simply because he's experienced, he's been there, etc. Maybe you want to start him in a final clash. It's done with that Panenka penalty.
I was going to talk about it, and thank you for that segue. Sapre, because Karthik has actually put us on like a decent track of football. Let's see if you can take it a step further. Quick thoughts on Aguero, because I have a very strong reaction to him saying sorry on Twitter for missing a penalty. I mean, that seems ridiculous to me. Does a keeper send out an apology every time they let in a penalty? No, right? So then every time, I mean, how many apologies? Like, I get it's a contact sport, and sometimes Son does random things, so then he has to come out and apologize. I get it, but are we starting to apologize for missing a penalty?
Imagine Timo Werner would be only on United. Right. He would.
I mean, that maybe he'll hit the tweet button from time to time. But Sapre, as a supporter of United who's seen a lot of penalties in their career and over the last 2 months, tell us, what is your reaction for Aguero?
Yeah, as an expert to know how to take penalties, watching my team with so many, that was a very poor penalty to begin with. They come off nice when they do. But I think Mendy had the time to get up, have some chai, and just stop it in one hand. It was that bad. Also, like Iyer said, the little minutest chance that he had to play in the finals has now gone away. So he was here, nothing to do. I don't think Guardiola even invited him to the post-match talk that he must be having with this team. So he had nothing to do. What does a poor man do, right? What's a lockdown and all of that? So maybe it's a Twitter try karte, I don't know. In Barcelona, they ask, what do you do outside of football? I have to have an answer. This is what it is, right? I mean, I'm glad he apologized.
Why?
Because it's easy, right? It's Aguero. No one's going to give him grief. He's done so much for that, club. The first season that he was in the club, they won the title. His last season, they might win the Champions League. And the phenomenon that he has been, he can afford to apologize because he knows there's no dangers. No one's going to beat him up for doing that. Unlike a lot of other players or teams in case of Arsenal and United, where if they
completely sorry, my apologies. I will tweet this out later, but my audio just went out completely. So I'm assuming Sapre was still talking about Aguero.
Yeah, we're still on whether the apology was necessary or not. But it shouldn't. I'm kind of. It doesn't really matter. I don't think Aguero would have anyway got grief. It's sad that he went out and apologized. I guess that's where we're at these days. That maybe these guys get so much.
Why? But
abuse.
Why are we at? We're not at that place. We're not. No, sorry. I have one more. So,
but here's the thing, right, Shivram? We shouldn't be like, if he wants to do it, it's fine that he does, right?
I don't
I
want
hope
him
he
to
was
be
not
setting
pressured
a
in-
precedent. I'm sure
Maybe,
we will never know, right?
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
if had City not lost that game, maybe he wouldn't have come out in upper, because that would have been 2-0 to City had he scored. Probably
I don't know. So
not
that's where I'm
needed.
coming from. So one thing is about him taking a Panenka. It is actually not. If you look at the data, which I was reading an article. Sorry. If you look at the data, going for placement is top. Like anyway, 80% of all penalties are scored. Going with placement is number one in terms of the penalties that go in. Going with power is number two, and the Panenka is number three. And it's not like there's a chasm of difference between all three. They're like 5-6% apart. So if going for placement is 70% of the time, this is 60-65% of the time, right? Plus it's a good move to play because you're already expecting the keeper to go. There was something that Pedicek describes as action bias, which a lot of goalkeepers, and we can of course double check with Karan, is that fact that goalkeepers don't necessarily expect to save a penalty, but they want to dive.
Yeah.
Because if they don't dive, it feels like they didn't do anything, right? So when you put all of that into perspective, it's not like we assume for people who haven't played football and haven't taken a Panenka, you think it's showing off. Taking a Panenka is the hardest thing to do in a football game. Getting that chip right and making sure you're fooling the keeper. So you're doing a lot of different things at the same time. And Aguero is set up to do that. He just chose one of the three options.
I disagree with you on that. I mean, I agree with what you said about taking the Panenka, but I thought Aguero here was overconfident. I think he wanted that exit on a high. I think he knows that this is last few games, maybe his last chance to score a goal for City. He wanted to be remembered. And I agree with you. Taking a Panenka is the hardest thing, and it should be one of the smartest things to do. You remember Joe Hart when he was goalkeeper and Pirlo was there? Pirlo said, the reason I took that Panenka was because this guy was just moving around. He was acting all very hyper. And you knew that he's going to die because he was that kind of keeper.
It actually changed the momentum in that game.
That was a penalty shootout, in fact. But yeah, I mean, here, Mondi, he was stationary. He was pretty chill. Like he was not sitting there jumping up and down like maybe a Pickford or a Joe Hart would.
Yeah.
Why did Aguero do it? I think it was he wanted a stamp on his
which
City
he
legacy.
Should get. I think it's fine.
No, I'm just going with you when you say that it's the toughest thing to do. I agree, but here I think he went for the showcase part of it rather than the skill part.
Fair enough. And if you know me, I wouldn't blame him to go for that. So that is a different. Let's agree to disagree on that. So we will never know for sure what he was thinking.
Yeah.
He has since come out and apologized, which I think is an extreme end to it, but that's okay. I mean, it's a sad place. I would have loved to see Aguero score that. So for whatever it's worth, in City, win, draw, whatever, that's indifferent. I'm hoping, to what Karthik said, he starts in the final. When he signed for City, famously he said, I will stay here till I win a Champions League. This is his opportunity to start in a Champions League final. He's not done himself any favors across the year, nor has Jesus for that matter. And they've since reverted to playing Ferran Torres, who's an up-and-coming winger / number 9 / supporting striker / whatever Pep wants him to be. So I mean, we'll find out. So that's, I think, can we bury?
Yeah, sorry. Will Aguero get a Champions League medal if City win? Has he played enough?
Of course. If you have to be on the bench.
Only in the squad, right?
Yeah, in the squad. Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't that guy get sorry, Oxlade-Chamberlain get a medal or someone like that?
Yeah,
Ox
would have got, and he came on in full track pants and all that to collect he did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not like Terry, who changed appropriately. But anyway, okay, enough about that. Liverpool dispatched Southampton, so nothing interesting. The other game, sorry, United went down to Aston Villa before they show them who's boss. Sapre, quick 2 minutes. Or is 2 minutes too long, Karthik?
Too long.
Just cut him when you think he's spoken too much.
Yeah, I mean, Sapre, focus on Liverpool United rather than talking about United. That's still an important game in the context of the league, I feel. Very little things are remaining. I think Liverpool United on Thursday night, is still something that's important.
Yeah,
so exciting. And Friday's a holiday. It's Eid, right?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I'm not going to spend 2 minutes
it's a win-win.
talking about the Villa game, but looking at the hairstyle, and if I can just draw a beard here, it's thanks to Cavani, contract extension, fantastic hitter again. goals in the not the Champions League, hopefully the Champions League final, or
The
upcoming season,
soon.
but against Roma in the Europa. So lovely week for him, lovely week for United fans. That we got number 7 finally after Ronaldo, who could do like we had Michael Owen, and then we had.
Wow. Okay, relax.
So no,
Karthik, this is the time when you cut him.
So the Cavani local, right? So that's it.
He's at best a substitute striker. I don't know why you're rejoicing for.
We didn't have
aging.
one.
You have
Lukaku,
Greenwood.
who is
Arey,
old.
Martial, sell Martial, fund it.
You'll buy.
And play Van de Beek to at least sometime. You have players.
So we've played Ilanga and Mata in midfield today. Behind Greenwood. That's the kind of squad that United have gone for the Leicester game, which is very obvious because they want to focus on the Liverpool game.
Wait, what was the name you just said out loud?
Elanga. The first time even I'm
Who
hearing
the
about
hell?
it.
Yeah, exactly.
No idea.
But
Shit, my entire team is benched. Okay, Greenwood is playing up top. Thank God. But everyone else is benched, man.
Yeah, but that means they'll all play versus Liverpool. So
most of them will play against Liverpool, which is, and now with the win against Villa, United have mathematically also cemented their place, right? So there's no urgency to do anything against Leicester. They'll play against Liverpool, which would be a good game.
I mean, Liverpool have to win, right? Although they've done well recently, it's still 5 points of Leicester, and Leicester could go a little more ahead today as well. So
and Everton did them a favor by beating West Ham. So so they have to do well, and they played okay in the previous. Thiago scored. Willian and Thiago scored this weekend. This is the best weekend ever for those at least.
Leicester beats United today. They go, which I'm hoping they do with a squad with Elanga and Ahmad. I'm hoping they go. So then they go ahead of Chelsea. And having played a game extra.
More. Yeah. And the last 2 games of the season are against, I think, Chelsea and Tottenham.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a good chance, but Liverpool have to win everything in hand. They can't afford to drop a single point.
Liverpool need to, if they win everything in hand, they still need Leicester to drop 3 points. It's possible, maybe not today because United
maybe
are
later.
Playing
Maybe when they meet Tuchel. What if he turns out to be?
Yeah, but I think that's the only thing left in the Premier League now. Whether Liverpool, there were a lot of clubs. I think all of us can safely say West Ham are not going to make the Champions League now. That time is done. Everton are not going to make the Champions League. And it hurts me to say this, but Tottenham are not going to make the Champions League. So I think it's only...
Why does it hurt you?
I like them. Yeah, it would be nice. Anyway, it is basically Liverpool's run to 4th. That is the only storyline mainly remaining in this season.
Fair enough. That's a very good assimilation, and that helps us move away from the PL. Quick thoughts. I know this is really far away. United make the final of the Europa League. Congratulations, Apre. City play Chelsea. So 3 amazing English teams in 2 of the biggest finals of the year. Any thoughts?
Yeah, one team missed out. They had a good chance, but
why do we have to talk about the one team which missed out? Like I said the last time, deservingly missed out. I don't think they should have made it. They would have ruined my happiness even more if they had got to the final and lost to United. I am happy they lost to Villarreal, and they didn't even show up, right? Like it was 0-0. They had to get a single goal in. They were toothless. We needed to get a goal on, and Willian comes on for Aubameyang, who was a Golden Boot contender year before, right? Or a winner, sorry.
Joint winner.
Joint winner with Salah.
In the match.
Yeah, and he hit the post twice. And then why would you take him off? I think something's like the cones aren't being picked the right way. Something's up. So I think it's only a matter of time before Arsenal really. It's how low can you go, right? If you look at Wenger's entire reign, Arsenal have never finished out of top 4. And since then, Arsenal haven't finished in top 4. So anyway, I'm boring you guys with my stories. Okay, so let's talk about what really happened over the weekend. Atletico Madrid played Barcelona, which was a massive snooze fest. But you guys were really going for it.
You know what? No. It wasn't. That I don't think that's fair. You're right. It was a massive snooze fest. The first half was kind of fun because both teams had chances. So you expected it to go a level above in the second half. The problem was, I don't know
What?
what they were doing in the
They
second
went
half.
below.
Yeah, it went 3-4 notches below. It was a bad game, and I would make any excuse like as possible for any other league, but it wasn't the game that it needed to be. But I think this is what Sapre keeps saying, right? Atletico are happy with draws, particularly in big games like this.
Yeah,
and
I think that's a good way. There's a Simeone way.
And it's Barcelona's to lose right now. I mean, they were afraid they would concede and just fall down even
Technically,
further.
Madrid's to lose after that.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, given the fact that Barcelona didn't even reach the semi-finals of the Champions League, it's far more pressure on them to win something at least. Be more competitive here.
Yeah.
So yeah, the second half was really boring. I think it was two Mourinho teams playing each other. Nobody wanted to lose. Draw is fine. But then all of us had hopes from the Madrid and Sevilla game, which also promised a lot, but
and delivered much more.
Delivered much more.
4 goals.
4 goals, a penalty miss, a goal disallowed. My God, it was not
lovely. It's like a Bollywood thriller.
Yeah,
goal disallowed.
Yeah, the penalty miss, what I was talking about, was my greatest moment of the weekend. So we're at Sevilla have a corner. The ball goes out, like it's cleared, etc., and Madrid go on the counter attack. Benzema 1-on-1 with the keeper. Bono brings him down. Bono is the keeper.
Taken out.
Bono brings him down. Madrid get a penalty. Goes to VAR because apparently while clearing the ball, Eder Militao, not apparently, it was fairly obvious, has handled it badly. Like his back was towards the ball, his hands are flailing. And then Sevilla get a penalty to go 2-1 up. My God, that was the most thrilling few minutes
And Rakitic takes it. Don't miss the...
What a storyline, right? Like Ivan Rakitic, former Barcelona,
what a storyline.
Comes there, and at that point, when it was 2-1, pretty much Madrid out of the title race, because then they'll be behind Barcelona, and Atletico, of course, will go like 4 points up or something. The 95th minute, Toni Kroos takes a shot, and of all people, it deflects off Eden Hazard.
It has
all people. It goes in 2-2, and now suddenly now Madrid are they're only 2 points off. So Sapre, when Sevilla were leading 2-1, Sapre and I were chatting, and Sapre is like, this is fine because even against Sociedad, which is Atletico's toughest game, they can now draw it. But the moment that I am holding my hands as air quotes, Hazard goal went inside, Atletico now cannot afford to draw any of the games, because if Madrid win all, if Barca win all, Atletico are done.
Oh my God, this is real pressure. Let's talk about the other games. PSG drew. What is happening, Karthik? How's the Farmers League coming along?
It's Burak Yilmaz. A lot of us will only remember him from Turkey whenever they are in either the Euros.
I remember, of course, Yilmaz. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He's Lille's top scorer this season. He's 35. He's never played outside of Turkey. He's gone to Lille for the first time in his career, leaving his home country. He's gone there. He's the top scorer, and he scored a brace over the weekend. He's leading them to the title. PSG come out, and as usual, they draw 1-1 against Rennes. And they obviously, when they're not doing well, what happens, Shivram? A red card will happen at the end.
Red card.
Kimpembe gets a red. There's just 2 games to go. Lille lead PSG by 3 points. Shocking. This is as big or bigger than even Leicester's prime.
Why would you say that about 35-year-olds? I mean, Raul Albiol scored against one of the biggest teams in the world recently, Europa League. He's also 35, 34, right? I'm guessing. Ex-Madrid.
Yeah, he is. There was about Albiol, and he reminded me of a great story I heard today. So Villarreal, I forget against who, but they lost over the weekend after the Arsenal game. They lost over the weekend, and Albiol in his post-match came out and said it would have been better for, I think 4-2 they lost. So it was a like here and there match and a lot of disallowed goals, etc. He came out and said, let's just start now. Every team we should just decide to play without referees. If both teams agree, we should play, because today's referee just ruined the game for both of us.
Oh my God.
I just love that quote.
It's very rare that someone comes out and says honest things, except when Aguero goes out and apologizes. Cool. On that note, let's take a quick break. We have fantasy to talk about on the other side, and if you guys have any interesting quotes, only interesting quotes. Okay, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. We are still here. We never left, and we are back. Sapre, anything interesting that you want to talk about before I switch into fantasy, because I have a lot of showing off to do?
No, man. No, let's talk about Fantasy Premier League, actually, because I did well.
Oh, you did well. Where are you in the league? So let's talk about the Football League first, and let's hear, Sapre, how well did you do? I can't see you. I can't,
Why
you're
can't you see me?
below Vinam also, man. You're 24th. Vinam is 22nd.
Yeah, but I was 26, so this is better, right? I was
मतलब तो
26.
घटिया तो,
I've gotten
oh
up
my
to
god, you're
12.
very bad. Okay, let's talk about the top 5 of the Football League. You can also join the Football League. Go to fantasy.premierleague.com, type in H3OMY, that's H3OMY, and you can join the league as well. Number one, who's been leading for a long time now, Klopper, it's Tanmay Gaude, 2,308 points. But number two has now been refreshed.
Oh,
Atharv Kaushal
yeah.
from the Damned United, 80 points, 22-80. So he's 28 points behind Klopp. Anything can happen. So this is going down to the wire. Number three, Anurag Mandle, he slipped down a spot, 22-76. So just 4 off the second spot. Number 4 stays as is, Guwahati City FC 2-6-4, and number 5 is Numero Bruno at 86 points and 22-46. FC AK is now in 6th at 22-45. So very
86
close.
points.
Anything can happen.
How do you get 86 points
Anything.
in a game week?
Anything can happen. Let's take a look. What did he do? He had Dallas, so that's great. He had Son, fantastic. Iheanacho, Calvert-Lewin, Phillips. Sorry, he also had bench boost. Pickford, Jota, Shaw, and Dunk. So he's obviously netted some points there, but really well done. I did well for once. Who would have thought? I got 69 points, but because I had Greenwood, Fernandes, and Wan-Bissaka in my team, so assist, goal. So I really reaped the benefits of United, but now tonight only Greenwood's playing up top, so that might be a setback. Karthik, where are you at in the league?
I've joined fantasy football for the pleasure of being part of few WhatsApp groups. That's about it.
Got it. Sapre, have you shown any inclusive behavior like Karthik just described?
No, I got 62 points, but my worry is Watkins' red card, so he won't play the next game. And I was really hoping.
Oh yeah, he's also got a -1 for you. So you had 63 and then you ended up at 60.
Plus, I don't know what happened to Weltman suddenly. He's been playing almost every match, and he was not even on the bench.
Calf injury.
I don't know. I mean, don't keep cows now, so that's the problem. I mean, tell us before if you're injured or whatever. So
now that is the peak of this podcast.
Else I would have done better. Not in humor in my team, but I had Mendy. I had trusted Mendy against Man City.
Saved a penalty.
Saved a penalty, so got 11 points on him.
He's still losing it.
And he's playing Arsenal, so I mean.
Yeah, winner, chicken dinner.
Are you okay?
He likes a good cow joke.
Yeah. But currently what? We're buying a Liverpool jersey as it stands.
Looks like it, yeah. And Liverpool jerseys are cheaper than Chelsea jerseys, I think. Are they both Adidas? Oh no, Liverpool is New Balance. I don't know if New Balance still, I think New Balance shut down in India. Hot damn, we'll have to make a jersey. We'll have to knit a jersey. Sapre, you'll have to knit a jersey and at the back it'll have to say Kloppites.
No problem, yeah. I have had 1 year of lockdown, I'm sure.
Yeah, at least something you can pick up, na.
Yeah.
45 plus, though, it's a given that you already have those
Yep.
knitting thingies at house. And you're some
very
ball
neat.
pen.
Yeah, I'm a very neat guy. I'll have one.
Oh my god. Okay. On that note, very few game weeks left. Not much to talk about, so we'll just not talk about it because I think it's coming to the wire.
I think Sapre did wanted to mention Milan thrashing Juventus.
Yes.
Why do we have to still talk about it?
Pirlo, the legend for Milan, of course, not for you. That's where his loyalties lie. And brilliant. He comes out and says, I am not going to resign. I knew the pressures and the difficult. You knew shit, right? Before you took over Juventus. They had Sarri, who was doing fine. Right? You had no idea. You just came with your hair. You're saying, fucking compete with Ronaldo, you share hair products, whatever.
You're describing yourself.
Can't manage for. This is Kavan. So he can't manage for shit, right? And now it's gonna be fun, right? I mean, Milan play Atalanta, and UA have to play Inter, but Inter will of course play a weak team because money, not because they won the title. And Atlanta, I want them to do well.
Why?
Because it's good to see, right? An outside team. I mean, why were you happy when Leicester won the? Why would
I
you?
wasn't. Arsenal finished second. I wasn't happy at all.
Okay, so let me put it this way: wouldn't you be happy if Arsenal finishes in the top four, right? A team who's not been playing.
Don't show me these dreams, Sapre. Don't go there.
So, right. So,
This is not that kind of tenet.
First, Inter winning the Serie A, which is great. That the dominance that Juventus had is broken. Milan coming into, like, they were leading. Hopefully now they'll at least end up in the top four, right? There's still Napoli trying to do something. I don't know what. And I watched the Maradona documentary, which is fantastic. I never knew enough about Napoli, the city. I always thought it's a great place, but it doesn't seem like, or it didn't seem like when Maradona went there. But they are in the top four. So I hope Juventus don't qualify for the Champions League next, and that would be fun to see. Right? But lovely, fantastic game. I mean, Chesney's saved a penalty. The penalty was still better than the mighty Panenka that Aguero had.
It was just as bad, man. I have a question for you, Karthik, and this is interesting for me. So I'm guessing it's interesting for everyone. By the way, if you're still listening to this, and it's 30 minutes into the podcast, is if you have any questions for us, you can send them in, tweet to us on on Twitter. Use hashtag #FootballShootball. You can also ping us on Instagram. So if you have any, we can take them next week. So just let us know. You can also comment on our YouTube videos and wherever you find us on Twitch, and we'll try and find a way to get back to you. Karthik, this is going to be a weird question, and I'm hoping everyone who's listening can also come up with a weird question. The Serie A title is called the Scudetto.
Mm-hmm.
What is the EPL trophy called?
Oh, no idea.
Like the Champions Trophy is called Big Ears, right? What is the EPL trophy called? Just a trophy. Are you Googling it as we speak?
I don't know. No, I'm not. I'm actually a little far away from my laptop. The field of depth is a little
magic
too
keyboard.
much for my hands to reach. I really don't know. There must be a name. Like even the World Cup has some name, I'm sure. Like
it does.
That guy, French guy.
Gilles Ream. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, that.
Just can't put two random words together and call it a French name.
Array, it is Jules.
Random sounds.
Like, just look it up and say only G. It's J and G and R somewhere. Just look it up. Cool. On that exciting note, if you find out Karthik, just let us know in the next episode. This is your homework. And if anyone else who's listening to this can find what is the World Cup trophy called, or what is the EPL trophy called, or just wants to name a random trophy, let us know. We'll find a way. Thank you so much for listening in. We are now going to switch on to Leicester versus United. I'm guessing you guys would have watched it yesterday. So yeah, that's it from us. Thank you so much.
Bye.
IVM